Okay, so this is the final part of this playthrough to get the true ending, completing the final case file, and then overtime mode will be unlocked, which will continue the story. And I just need to make sure that I do the things I need to do in order to get ending A, which is the true ending. So let's go.
He's dead.
Oh.
All he worried about was you in the end. But damn it! He died without telling me a damn thing. You know, I thought he was terrorist scum. But... in the end, all he really cared about was his sister. Jerk. Here. He wanted you to have this.
Papa. Mama. 하자, mama.
Did you figure it out?
하자, mama. Mother Earth Our parents said that a lot. The place we lived, Santa Cabeza, was blessed with nature. Please believe me when I say my brother didn't want all this. He only wanted to live in peace in Santa Cabeza.
Frank, the emergency line's been freed up. I'll give headquarters a call. Hang on.
DHS headquarters.
This is Agent Jessica McCarney. We have an emergency situation. Frank, it's over. HQ's decided to ignore us.
What? What do you mean, ignore us?
I contacted headquarters, but the government has decided to deny all knowledge of what happened here. Special forces will arrive for cleanup at midnight. They'll take everyone out. Zombies, people, everyone.
Jessica McCarney? Talk about your close calls. You contacted us just in time. Your boss thought we should have a talk with you before the operation begins. We'll be taking you into custody. If you sign an agreement to keep your mouth shut about all this, you'll be free to go.
Jesse? right. All right. All right. Right. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey Ryu, how are you, mate? I don't know if I'm actually harming this helicopter, but it's killing time anyway. It does, yeah. I thought I'd change it up a bit, put him in a different costume. Problem with trying to hit it with this real Mega Buster is that by the time you shoot it, it's already moved way past beyond it. It seems to have to... Well, how's that for a bloody fluke? Just as I was saying that I couldn't hit the damn thing, I hit it. It comes back anyway later, but... I've got a fair amount of time left until I need to be somewhere else in this game, but I'm not going to stop the stream though because there's no point really. So if anyone's watching this back later, I'll put a timestamp in the description of the video so that you know where you can skip to, instead of having to watch everything up until that point. Well, there's nothing to say that the Mega Man universe doesn't exist in a future time period from when this game takes place. And that, you know, in the same universe you've also got Resident Evil, although an event like Raccoon City, if that was something that existed in the Dead Rising universe, you'd think that would be something that would be a major sort of reference. I mean, they do have a store called Jill's Sandwiches, but that's basically a in-joke because of what Barry says to Jill in the original Resident Evil. Gotta watch out, I could die here. Yeah, you could probably find a creative way to tie it all together.
Requesting emergency backup. Someone get away.
I think there's a big future for video game stuff in television, Netflix. I mean, with an animated sort of series, you can get so close to the exact same look and feel of the games that it's not funny. Those of you just joining the stream, I'm pretty much waiting around for a certain time to happen, for more story stuff to occur. I better save it here just in case.
Requesting emergency backup. Emergency backup.
That may still happen, Ryu. You never know. I think it'd be a good way to go, actually. May as well put it in the hands of a company that will actually want to do something with it. I think it's so cool though that for someone who had worked on a short fan film to end up actually being able to officially make something for a franchise is just, I mean, what a dream. It'd be like doing a fan film of like Metroid or something and then Nintendo saying, right, we're going to allow you to do an official movie. You'd be like, what? You'd be outside of yourself. And that chopper is back again. Back for more. Insert run! Get to the chopper! Quote there. Yeah. annoying when you get companies getting control over franchises that you think to yourself, why couldn't someone else have control of it? It's like with Sony and Resident Evil. I mean, you've got the CG movies, which are pretty good. I still need to see the Vendetta one. But the first two that I've seen, I really like them. And it's funny when you think about the fact that Sony were behind the actual live-action movies.
He went that way.
Yeah, I really need to see the Castlevania one. Years and years ago, there was talk about taking the third Castlevania game, Dracula's Curse, and turning it into a film. And I think it was actually the same dude who ended up doing the Castlevania Netflix series anyway, which still ended up being great. And I was wondering how it would turn out. And one thing, I don't hate the anime style, but I would like to see sometimes having some different animation style for video game based stuff, just to set things separate from one another. He was, yes, and I think in his version the main character, whether that was Simon or someone else, was going to be a knight. Wasn't going to be a vampire hunter to start with. He was going to be a knight. And there was going to be a group of knights that he was involved with, and they would become involved in the whole situation. And I'm like, the team of people worked with Event Horizon, and to an extent it worked with the first Resident Evil movie, but I think he needs to stop trying to do movies where it's like, let's have a group or a team of people going, because he's obviously trying to do something similar to Aliens. Get that type of dynamic. That's true. When Symphony of the Night came out and was such a big hit, the series definitely changed. I mean, I don't hate the fact that a lot of the games afterwards were in that same style, but I just wish that every once in a while there was like the traditional non-Metroidvania games, just to balance things out a bit. But I lost track of the series after Symphony of the Night, because there was just so many games that came out after that one, and I was sort of like, oh, I don't know if I can get around to playing all of them. I actually didn't mind that one, but I can definitely understand why people would consider it terrible. It really didn't live up to any of the other games that had come out before. I remember that a lot of people were excited about it before it came out. I think maybe they should have just stuck with the 2D side-scrolling graphics, because they did that with Yoshi's Story, and they did that with Mischief Makers. Yeah, it was that phase where it was like, it's a new thing, so we need to try and get as many franchises into that style as possible. While I like Mortal Kombat 4, I definitely think the Deadly Alliance was the one that really got that style down pat for Mortal Kombat. Okay, so the next event in-game that I need to do takes place at 10 AM, and in-game it's 7 AM at the moment. So it shouldn't take too much longer in real time for it to get to that point. Oh, hell yeah. That Special Forces game, I didn't get far into it, but I didn't like it. And funnily enough, I actually like Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero much better than Special Forces as well. I mean, that game, I don't know, it's still one that I'd like to play again in the future, but I definitely would love to see a remake of that at one point. Because I think you can still do the sort of like prequel story where it's Sub-Zero before the first Mortal Kombat tournament. Because one of the main issues with Mythologies is that it tried to continue the same style as the other games and including the same controls when it should really have been a different thing from the ground up. They still could have kept the digitized actors but changed the control setup so it wasn't trying to be like the Mortal Kombat one-on-one fighting games. That's a good one, Shaolin Monks. I didn't play all of it though. I've still got it, so I should actually get stuck into that at some point. Yeah, I intend to get a PlayStation 4 at some point. If by the time I can get one, that's still what I want to get. But I'd also like to be able to stream PlayStation games, and I could probably do PS1 games as well on stream that way. I mean, I could do the whole invest in a computer and do all that sort of stuff, but I don't know, for now it's easier just to do it on console. I mean, it's not like I'm a big, huge streamer anyway, so it's not like I need to have the ability to do all the different things like shoutouts and all that sort of stuff, admins and all that. So I don't necessarily need to have all the features that you can only have if you use your PC for streaming. But that might change one day. I might change my mind and go, okay, I'll get a computer and make sure it's really the best you can get for gaming and stream on that. So it's still a possibility. It's just for now, I'm just happy to use the consoles to stream. If I can get a PS4, I should be able to play the old Resident Evil games too. That's if they're available to download from the PSN. I haven't really checked. Oh, I did, yeah. That Batman Forever game, that was terrible. It's so funny. I think Batman Forever is a better movie than Batman Returns, but the Batman Returns game is much better than the Batman Forever one. The Batman Forever one was just shit. And I think it was, damn, what's the name of that? There was a company that worked on the Mortal Kombat games, the earlier ones, and I think they were involved as well with the Batman Forever one. I can't remember their name though at the moment. Yeah, it was them, But there was also another name of something too that was involved. Shit, it'll come to me one day. But yeah, Acclaim is the ones that worked on that as well. Maybe Konami should have had the rights to do the Batman Forever game, just like they did with the Batman Returns one. Yeah, that is a fair point. I haven't really, not in recent years anyway.
The military. They'll come, won't they? It's just like Santa Cabeza. The government wants to cover this up too.
I mean, you do have the Friday the 13th game that came out recently, which is an amalgamation of all the movies. But there's not a whole slew of video games based on movies coming out. I think it's just that a movie hasn't come out yet based on a video game that has really broken box office records and critical acclaim. It just hasn't gotten to the points of movies like, The Dark Knight, or movies like, to look at some older ones, you haven't had a video game based movie on the level of something like The Godfather or Goodfellas or Good Will Hunting in terms of success. The funny thing is, the most successful franchise based on a video game has been Resident Evil, and it's more, I think, a financial success, but still, it's funny how that worked out. That's true, yeah. Or even on Spider-Man's levels. So I think it's just a matter of timing, who becomes involved, and also how everything goes, because you can get the best people in the world to work on something, but there might be issues that pop up which ruin things. It might be studio interference, it might be decisions that are made in the editing room, or anything can sort of disrupt things, marketing, things like that. I think one of the problems with the Assassin's Creed marketing for the movie was that they focused on getting a well-known artist to do a song for it and tried to be very flashy with it. And I think it would have been better to do something a bit more subtle. Have traditional music instead of having some kind of, rap song or whatnot. And try and focus on the strengths of the games, which has been the historical aspects, and actually, do a trailer that was more about showing off the history side of things. One of the requirements that I need to do to get the true ending is to speak to Isabella at 10 AM. And it's 9:15 in game time. It was, yeah. See, that's a good mixture of financial plus creative as well. I mean, it wasn't like a huge, big, major box office breaking movie, but it warranted a sequel. Although, as we know, the sequel we got was crap. And here we go. I've got the call to see Isabella, so I'll go up into the hideout. And that'll satisfy this requirement for the true ending. Yes, it definitely was in some alternate universe a great hit, and there was a Mortal Kombat 2 and 3, and they were considered one of the best trilogies of video games. Okay, so now I have to get back to the helipad so that when the helicopter arrives, I'm there for it. Where have all the zombies gone? Yeah, imagine if that actually happened. I just hope that with the reboot series of Resident Evil movies that they try to be more faithful. I mean, they may have to do things like update the year in which the movie takes place. So instead of 1998, like in the original Resident Evil, have it in modern day, but still have the same type of story anyway. And show things that weren't shown in the games, like, show the itchy, tasty guy. Do things like that. That would really set it apart from the other live action movies. The problem with the ones that we got is that after the first one, because no characters from the games were in it, and I think one of the criticisms was, oh, there's no one from the games in the movie. They were like, okay, we'll bring in Jill for Resident Evil Apocalypse. But it started the trend where they do that for fan service, but at the same time they change the character so much that it's like, why bother bringing them in? Jill doesn't have the same personality as the version in the games. There's no history between her and Chris. There's no mention incident or anything like that. She's just thrown into the story, and then you have Claire in the third one, who comes off better than what Jill did, but by the same token, she's not looking for a brother, and then he's not introduced until the fourth one, and then even when she finds out that he's her brother, remembers him, it doesn't have as much of an impact on the character as you would, and so it's like, why bother doing this? The closest they got, and not the first time they introduced him, but the second time, was Wesker. Now, the guy who played him first was crap, and basically just sitting in a chair and all that is just stupid. And then the second guy, though, he actually had the same sort of stuck-up, holier-than-thou attitude that Wesker developed in the games later. So, in that case, they actually were the closest to any of the characters from the games with Wesker in Afterlife and in Retribution. Okay, so we just wait for the helicopter to arrive. Ah yes, Doom the movie. What a failure. I can't believe there's some people who actually think it's a great movie, or that it's really good. I'm like, what? I mean, if you don't know anything about the games, if you've never played them, you don't even know about their existence, and you watched it, and you enjoyed it, I can understand. But if you're a fan of the games, I don't know how you can enjoy it. Maybe. That might be how you enjoy it. You have to be that to be to like it. How hard is it to do a sci-fi horror action and have, you know, demons and all that sort of stuff? How hard is it? Like, really? It did, yeah. I mean, Event Horizon is the closest that we got to a Doom movie. In terms of feel, like, obviously not story.
Well, I'll be damned. He's still alive. That son of a bitch made it. That must mean he got his scoop. I can't wait to get my share of the take. Woo! Yeah! All right. You just hang tight, buddy. I'm on my way. Huh?
Hey! 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 I'm over here!
I see you, buddy! I see you! Yeah! I'm on my way! Yeah! Yeah, you did it! You did it! Yeah! Yeah!
Okay, so that's the 72-hour mode finished, and I've gotten the requirements to unlock overtime mode. So overtime mode obviously continues on from that point, and you play the rest of the story as it plays out in canon. Okay, so I'm going to actually skip these credits. And unlocked an achievement. Okay, that's pretty good. Alrighty, so ending A, game clear, yep.
You're awake. Oh, thank God. It wasn't easy getting you back here by myself, you know. You collapsed on the roof.
I collapsed? No, Wait. Does that mean...
You must have gotten yourself infected somehow. The time between infection and zombification differs greatly from person to person. You're lucky, Frank. You seem to have a very high level of resistance.
So, So what you're saying is that I get to spend longer waiting for the inevitable, is that it? You know, I'm not sure lucky is the word I'd use. The helicopter crashed. No one's coming to help us now. It's over for us. No matter what we do.
What if...
What if there was some way to impede the infection? If we could extract and administer a large dose of hormones from the corpus allatum of an adult queen, it would potentially hinder the growth of the larva in your blood, retarding the zombification process.
Hang on a sec. I don't understand a word you just said. What are we supposed to do?
I'll need certain supplies to get this to work. And queens. As many as you can get your hands on.
All right. Sounds like a plan. She'll be sitting around here waiting to die.
That was a great song, yeah. I really enjoyed that one. The second game's got some great songs in it too. I actually became a fan of the band Cell Dweller because of Dead Rising 2. Yeah, got infected. And so now I have to try and get a way to sort of slow down the zombification process.
fighting back. Don't let him get away. Emergency backup.
That he does, yeah.
I've located a survivor.
Jeez.
Requesting emergency backup. Requesting emergency backup. Nothing unusual here. Requesting emergency backup. Get him. Don't let him get away. Wait. Get him. Anyone there? Anyone there? Anyone there?
So, this drug that stops the parasite growth. Have you ever made it before, or is it just a theory?
When I was working in the medical lab, my brother asked me to research a method of suppressing the parasite. Of course, back then, we didn't extract the hormones directly. We synthesized them in the lab.
So, he was looking to protect himself from his own terrorist scheme. He wanted a way out, is that it?
I don't know. I know he didn't bring the drug with him here. I have no idea what he intended to use it for. You think I'm just making excuses, but Carlito kept things from me.
Even if this, even if you do manage to make this drug, it won't completely cure me, will it?
I'm afraid not. When the effect wears off, the parasite will develop as it normally would, continuing the zombification process.
Fat lot of good that does me. only hope I've got now.
This is all I need as far as supplies are concerned. Now all we need are some queens.
Yeah, listen. Just how long do you suppose your drug will prevent me from turning into a walking corpse?
During my research, I was never able to conduct proper clinical studies. To a certain extent, the period of effectiveness depends on each patient's physiology. It could be a year, maybe only a week. There's no way to tell for sure.
Fantastic. So, I'll be a walking zombie time bomb.
A time bomb?
What?
Once the drug's development was complete, Carlito poured his energy into starting an NPO dedicated to helping war orphans. We had 50 doses of the drug prepared. Not long after that, the NPO managed to find homes for a large group of children. Want to guess just how many?
Oh my God. Are you saying he infected these kids and then gave them your drug? That he made 50 little ticking time bombs?
I don't know. I just don't know. It is possible, though.
Look at this. New York, DC, LA, these kids are spread all over the country. If your theory is right, the entire country could be crawling with zombies by now. I don't know what's worse. That we don't know for sure, that we can't warn anyone about this.
Well, what we need to do right now is prepare the hormone and get you taken care of.
What a plan it was. Yeah. Not only here at that mall, but everywhere else.
Damn it. Even if this thing leads out of here, I doubt these zombies would just let us walk right through. You're gonna inject me with that, huh? Okay, Doc. Let's get this over with. At least I won't have to worry about turning into one of them for a while. Okay. Next on the agenda. Figure out a way to get the hell out of here.
While I was isolating the hormone, I managed to identify a pheromone that suppresses the attack instinct in adult parasites. In other words, the zombies don't like the way it smells. If you give me a little more time, I should be able to produce some of this pheromone.
They think it smells bad? You think we could use something like that to keep them away from us? We could just walk right past them and get out of here.
In theory, yes. Either way, it's certainly better than nothing.
There was a cave. Outside, where the helicopter crashed. It was packed with zombies. I mean, shoulder to shoulder. But it may lead somewhere outside. If it works, your anti-zombie perfume, it could keep us safe in that cave. What do you say? You ready to get the hell out of here?
There won't be enough of this pheromone to waste it on experiments. We'll only have enough to use it once.
Whatever you say.
My God. There are so many. Where on earth could this lead?
I don't know. But considering how many of them keep pouring out of here, it must be connected to something. Isabella, look. Any other way out of here is guarded by the military. If we're gonna get out of here and put a stop to Carlito's plan, we've got to go in there. It's the only way. It's not like we're unarmed. We got your smelly perfume, don't we? I wouldn't be alive right now if your shot hadn't worked. The perfume's gonna work too. I know it.
All right. Let's go.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, wonder if it's actually sort of like a, I don't know, to be honest, what type of smell it could be. Might smell like shit. That'd be funny. Yeah. A mixture of shit and burps. Smell.
Are you sure this was a good idea?
Guards here, too. If we can get that gate open, they'll be too busy dealing with zombies to notice us slip by.
Wait. The pheromone is starting to wear off. It's only strong enough to cover one of us. What are you... What
All
are
right,
you
hang on
doing?
tight, okay? Once we're out, let's see if we can't steal ourselves that set of wheels. Right.
Get to the chopper.
These automated machines are no use at all on the battlefield. Switch to manual control.
Oh yeah.
Aim main cannon.
Oh, shit.
Well, what have we here? Where were you hiding when my men mopped up the mall? On a mission in which the number of targets is unclear, it's difficult to ensure absolute thoroughness. Huh. You have imagination. That's what drives you in your quest to run. Your quest to hide. As prey, you and your kind are much more stubborn than the zombies.
How much do you know about the zombies?
I commanded the Santa Cabeza cleanup operation. If we had fulfilled our mission then, we wouldn't be needed here now to take care of this incident.
That's all it was to you, huh? A mission. What about those innocent people who had to pay for sins committed by our government
Our
and its
mistakes
inhuman
have
research?
not begun with this operation. Humanity has proven itself to be quite adept at making mistakes. Ha! Hell, it's the only thing we truly excel at. Well then, I'd say this mission isn't quite over yet. Don't you agree?
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I hate this move he does. Not gonna survive this one. Fatality. Brock wins. Yeah. I was trying to remember what move is actually effective against this bloke. In the second Dead Rising game, a good move you do is like, I don't know the technical name of it. I think it's a wrestling move. I think it's an axe kick or something. It's when they use both of their feet at once to kick someone. They jump and kick. You do that in the second one, on the second game's main boss. Well, one of them. Good thing I can skip some stuff. Yeah, that's one of the annoying things about dying against that boss is you have to redo this part again. Imagine if it was one of those games where if you did this it would overheat. If you held down the trigger. Alright, let's try again. Ah, I hate this move. Get off me, zombies.
This is as far as you get, sir.
He's really, really fucking annoying. Yeah, whatever.
That's getting started.
That. I hate this move. I hate in games where enemies have a grab move and you can't break from it and they just hold on to you and drain energy off you. I hate that in games. Yeah, they could do it, I think. It's possible. They just need to put the resources together and get it done. There. Jump out of the way. Shit. Oh, come off it. Get off me, zombies. Fuck. Yes. Okay, so that is the true ending for Dead Rising. It's the in canon ending, and I'm going to let the credits play, and then when the credits are finished, I'm going to stop streaming. But I will be back again next with Dead Rising 2, and I'll be doing the same thing, playing through the full game and getting the proper ending. Yes, finally defeated him. He's annoying. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it'd be good if I could actually defeat him without getting hit by him. It's just that grab move of his. That's the most frustrating one that he has. There's probably like a really easy way to defeat him. I've just never actually looked at a playthrough where someone's done it. So there's probably a tactic where it's much easier to get his health down. I haven't played Dead Rising 4 yet, I don't even own it, but there's not really enough time for me to play a full new game like that during October to fit it in with the other ones I want to do. So I'm just sticking to the first 3 for this year, and then next year I'll do all 4 of them. I've also got Resident Evil games to play, Silent Hill games to play, and I don't think I'll even be able to fit in Resident Evil 7 because I've never played that before either. I don't own it, so I don't know how easy it is to finish that game in a short amount of time. But I'd like to try and fit that one in at least. See how I go. It's still expensive though at the moment, which is a downside. Now that infinity mode, that's actually survival mode. Yeah, so that infinity mode, the game just keeps on going, and your health gradually decreases constantly. And then you have to make sure you get food and stuff to refill it. But then you've got other people who are trying to kill you, and you get food off them if you defeat them instead. And you just keep on going until you die or you give up. And there's an achievement for doing it for 5 days in-game, and then there's one for doing it 7 days in-game. And since this is the remastered version of Dead Rising, I haven't actually done that for this game, for this version, but I've done it for the 360 version before, and I think it took like 12-13 hours to actually get it done in real time. Okay, so I'm going to end the stream here. If you've been watching it since I've been streaming, thanks for watching. Thanks for you for dropping by and watching, and thanks for everyone else who has, and also people who've been watching it later after it's been recorded. Thanks for watching that. I will have put a timestamp in this video so that people can skip to certain parts without having to wait ages for it to come by in the game. But thanks again, and see you in Dead Rising 2.